If we don't deal with them gnolls, none of us are getting out of here alive. Fine. Money's useless to dead men. There. You are fairly bought and paid for. Let's take them!
That might be worth a look.
Fading fast. I need healing.
Karlach's all fire and fury. I pray to the Triad it doesn't consume her.
Isn't it glorious? Karlach's fury is a wonder to behold.
Yes? Why do you insist on exhuming the past? I was a slave. A vampire spawn. Kept by the Tsar family. Perhaps I still am. I was never able to resist their commands. But now, I've been conveniently lost. They won't ever control me again.
Karlach's temper is a sight to behold. She'll need to be careful. That rage will burn her right out.
What's on your mind?
The year, 10 Air. The place, sleepy little town called Baldur's Gate. Our hero, Karlach, a knock-kneed delinquent from the outer city with everything to give and nothing to lose. I was a kid looking for a way to fill my days and make some cash when I fell into the wrong crowd. Worked for a guy I respected. A lot. Turns out the feeling wasn't mutual. Through the jigs and the reels, he made a deal with Zariel behind my back. You know Zariel, right? Archdevil of Avernus. She put this thing in my chest and set me to work. Well, to war. I learned quick how to stay alive. And the engine served me when it came to killing devils. 10 years of that. The stories I could tell. Guy named Gortash. Politician. Inventor. One of these wheeler-dealer types who seems to have a finger in every pie. I guess I was naive to think everything he got up to was above board. What did I know? I saw a job. A good job. With people I liked. Doing work I was good at. Sometimes I'm jealous of that girl. Oh, to feel so invincible again. Gives me energy. Power. But you've seen it in action. Very hard to control. If I'm excited at all, angry, nervous, delighted, enticed, I burn hot. Hot enough to burn anyone who gets close. I try not to think about it. I still think about it constantly, but, you know, I try. One of these days, I'll sort the whole infernal affair out, get myself cooled off, start making up for lost time. But not today.
Hellsfire. She's coming.
Will, you've been naughty. And you know what happens when you're naughty.
God damn it. Anyone but her.
You flatterer. Why, if I had a warm heart, I'm sure it would be skipping. Call me Mizora. I'm Will's patron, the fount of his power. My pet's been unruly, and his leash needs a yank. We had a deal, Will. But Karlak's still breathing.
I've taken more pleasant shits than you, Mizora. And at least those can be buried after.
That's no kind of talk for a lady. By the way, Karlak, Zariel sends her regards.
You told me! Devils only! She's a tiefling, not a monster!
How precious. The little pupster's found his bark.
Clause G, Section 9. Target shall be limited to the infernal, the demonic, the heartless, and the soulless.
Karlak meets the criteria by virtue of having no heart. Kill me? I wouldn't recommend it.
I die, and Will turns to a lemure and gets sucked right down to the hells.
Which reminds me.
Will burns in the fires of Avernus. The lightning storms of Dis strike his flesh. His soul passes through each layer of the hells, gaining their essence and their torment.
That's better.
What the hells have you done?
A promise broken, a price paid. You know the terms.
Get used to the new form, pet.
There's no going back. Some magic even I can't undo.
Now, let's see how the frontiers fare without their precious blade.
Karlak, keep an eye on him, would you? I'll be keeping mine on you. Oh, and Will, don't forget,
Our pact still stands.
ta-ta.
Gods damn her, straight back to the hells. Just look at me. I did what was right, and Mizora made me pay for it. I'd be hunting devils and demons, she said. Traitors and hypocrites, heartless evils of all sorts, but not Zariel's victims. Not innocent tieflings. I'll say what I can, but it won't be enough. It's Mizora who grants me the power to conjure armor and cast eldritch blasts. Before I was infected, I could even call hell beasts and summon festering clouds. But I promise you, every thrust of my blade and every flame I sparked was for the good of the coast. The one little question that put me out of house and home. I can't utter the terms or circumstances of the pact. I can tell you most all else, but the pact, I'm forbidden, unless Mizora permits it. But I'll say this. The moment I pacted myself to Mizora, I have not regretted for a heartbeat. It was my proudest deed. It was worth the sacrifice. All I can give you on that is my solemn word.
Yes? It's simple. Just find a vampire that will drink your blood and turn you into a vampire spawn. Their obedient puppet. In theory, the next step is to drink their blood. Once you've done that, you're free and a true vampire. People think the biggest threat to a vampire is a cleric with a stake. It's not. The biggest threat to a vampire is another vampire. They're scheming, paranoid, power-hungry beasts. So why would any vampire give up control over a spawn to create a competitor? Trust me, it doesn't happen.
I'll be honest, soldier. I'm reeling. Will hardly knows me, but he chose my life over his. Been a long time since someone stuck their neck out for me like that. You can say that again. When he was chasing me through Avernus, I thought he was just another sad merc. How wrong I was.
Well met. It's said that anyone who bathes in the river of blood emerges as one born anew. It's a lot like that, I imagine. I feel the weight of these horns on my head, curling upwards like a mammoth's tusks. I feel these ridges snaking down my neck, not to mention a few bumps and prongs in unmentionable places. But I haven't seen my reflection just yet. Be my mirror. What do you see? I can't tell if you're being silly or serious. I'll accept the flattery either way. I suppose I'll grow used to the new me, horns and all. The people will see a curiosity, maybe even a beast hungry for their souls. But I will slay their monsters, keep them safe, and one day they will see the Blade of Frontiers again. A possibility that's kept me awake countless nights. But I don't have a clue where to start, other than play her games and play by the rules. That's the only language devils listen to. It could well be. She has the blighted thing. What I know of it is simply what has engraved itself upon my memory. My contract is very clear. I can bring Mizora no harm. She'll have to let me out of my pact willingly. The only way out is if I can out-bargain her. We're standing here with nothing but the clothes on our backs and the worms in our heads. We can. I'm sure of it. How glad I am that you see me as more than my patron's pet.
What's on your mind? First things first, I need to get this engine tuned up. Thing's powerful, but it's been feeling volatile ever since I left the Hells. Can't be too hard to find an infernal mechanic around here, right? Funny you should ask. I was just thinking about what would have become of us without that Nautiloid. I mean, I know where I'd be. Trapped in Avernus still, with the Blade of Frontiers on my tail. But what about you?
It'll come back to you. Maybe you'll recognize something we passed, or maybe we'll find out what happened to you. I get the feeling we've got a long road ahead of us. I hope we find you some answers along the way.
Smoke. Something's burning.
More drow. Fist! At the ready! Another long sworn. A killmonger. A monster. If I do not take his head, he will take mine. You're different than the others. I can tell. It was a massacre. Drow and goblins slaughtered the lot. My poor Yatsik never stood a chance. He should never have been here in the first place. I'm the one that talked him into joining the Fist. Now, please just leave me be. Speak to the Gauntlet if you want to know more. Great God, Helm. Allow us peace in this plane and beyond.
I hear shouting.
Just care when
Someone
we
needs
were
help.
helpless. Just certainty when we would have doubt. So it is.
Keep pushing! Duke Ravengard could be inside. On count of 3. 1, 2.
Ravengard? He's here.
Yes! Now make yourself useful! Push, damn it! Push! Inside! Hurry! We don't have much time!
What to do? The heat coming off that door. Opening it could spell trouble.
Come! I'm afraid proper thanks must wait.
Fire! Hurry! Get this thing off me! Yes! You did it!
Thank you. Thank you.
Miri. No. Gods, no, no, no. You should have stayed. You should have been with me. She would have survived. If only I'd kept my mouth shut about that bloody dowry. What am I gonna do? She's all I had. How is this a blessing? You should have let me burn.
Councillor Floric, are you all right?
Will, by the main God, what's become of you?
A story best left for calmer days. Now breathe deeply. Are you in pain?
Scorched throat. A few hairs singed off. Nothing a bit of time and fresh air can't cure. Gauntlet, a new duty calls. Drow have taken Grand Duke Alder Ravengard westward, if my eyes and ears can be believed. Report to the Manic and send for reinforcements. We must find the Duke.
No, it can't be. You mean they've taken my...
Yes, Will. The Drow have your father. Without him, the city faces collapse. In fact, I fear that may have been the intention of those who abducted him. Will, you must hold little love for your father. But please, find him and return him to the city.
Whoever holds my father is my target. I'll head west and find them. Trust me to see it through.
Thank you. And should your courage falter, remember your father's generosity. Go. You should pick up the Drow trail with ease. I will seek reinforcements and join you when I can. Fist, to work.
Shit. You can put distance between you and yesterday, but you'll never leave it fully behind. Father's words. Hard to argue with them. Florrick spoke true. I'm a Grand Duke's son.
Not just any Grand Duke. The most influential in the city, if my memory serves me right. And for once, I think it does.
Thank you. That means a lot. But I wonder, what makes a Duke of Baldur's Gate so interesting to the Drow? Even the houses of Menzo Baranzan would have little use for my father. No, this is no Drow plot. These absolute nutters, these true souls are behind his abduction. His absence alone will sow chaos in the city. If they were to infect him, he could lead Baldur's Gate to ruin. All the more reason to find him. The Absolute has seized not just my father, but the future of the Sword Coast. I know, and you're right. My story is one of two men. The Blade of Frontiers, a man hunting the fiends who prey on the weak and claw at the coast. And Will Ravengard, a memory of a memory. A man who belongs to the past. I wanted you to know the Blade, not the shadow he left behind.
He of the unsleeping eyes, grant me the might to carry this burden. Grant me the faith to face darkness without fear. He should never have been here in the first place. I'm the one that talked him into joining the Fist.
You spot a man crouching between the shelves, just as he spots you.
Bugger! Little serpent, long shadow. Don't want to die. Little serpent, long shadow. Just say it. Oh, hell, dwarfs. I thought you were flaming fist. Well, down you go then. They'll be on us soon, so if you're looking to trade, you best be quick. Entrance is hidden behind the wardrobe. Here's the key.
That's far enough. What's your business down here? Answer honestly and maybe we'll kill you clean. Then your answer decides his fate as well as your own. So make it good. Where in the hell's is Rugen? I need that cargo. I never mentioned any cargo. And I don't care for people poking around in my head. Still, I can look past it. If you have what I need. Come down.
What's that smell?
I need only tell her it's a gambling debt. It's happened before.
Well, don't you cut a fine figure? Want your portrait done? If you have the gold, my pet artist will make you a most heroical likeness. Let's say we're his patrons, yeah? Found him wandering the wilds alone. He needs protection. And if his paintings cover our costs, so much the better, eh? You've got an eye for quality. Every noble in Baldur's Gate will be after one of these. Tell him I sent you. And if he stains it up with his sniffling, there'll be hell to pay.
You. The way you handled Zaris. You're not one of her thugs. You need to buy me. Selling my... I am not some lower city coin lad offering you a tumble. I am an artist, and my patron will reward you for my rescue. Tenfold, whatever ransom you pay, I guarantee it. As far as you're concerned, she may as well be the coin maiden herself. But there will be time for questions later. Please, speak to Brem. I need to see the sun again.
Something I can help you with? I doubt you've got that kind of dosh line about. All right, mate, all right. Watkins clip coins, there's no need to get arsey. Go on, then. Bet anything lower would be criminal. He's all yours. Don't forget to feed him. He balls something proper.
I can't say I've ever been bought before. How much did I fetch? No, don't tell me. There's nothing so depressing as learning one's true value. Well, you should at least know what you've paid for. I am the Oscar Fevras, at your service. A genuine pleasure. I'm in your debt, as is my patron. My betrothed, I should say. Assuming Lady Janeth still wishes to marry me after our little, falling out. A noble woman of passion, refinement, and, as it turns out, quite ferocious temper. The latter I learned only after the engagement, when I told her I was in love with someone else. I made a timely retreat into the countryside, to paint and clear my head. To choose, I suppose. I wish I could harden my heart so. Still, you're right. We have the matter of my return to consider. Say, I don't suppose you could spare some coin, could you? Ease the discomforts of the road some. I suppose I can endure the walk sober. Suffering has become an old friend, after all. Until Baldur's Gate, then.
Light on my feet.
Nothing to see here. Move along.
Wouldn't linger down here if I were you. See all that smoke powder? The flaming fist won't find nothing here but rubble.
Had a peach of a shot on you as you came in.
What's past this?
seems you've pushed your luck too far. Time to defend yourself.
You've messed up.